Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Nick and Nolan Experience Sports Talk Show. We have a lot to talk about today, starting with the fights that happened this past Saturday, all the way through the latest news happening with college and professional sports as they continue on their path to returning. Then we'll finish with our predictions for this Saturday's UFC card, headlined by Overeem and Walt Harris. Fight fans have been spoiled this week, and it's not over yet, so let's start with that great card that we had on Wednesday.
Man, that card. I watched a little bit of it. I was at work, so I missed like the prelims, but I watched the main card, and it was a good card. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was a really good card.
Yeah, it wasn't as big a names on there, but it delivered for sure.
It definitely did.
How about Chase Sherman to start the card? Dude gets cut less than 2 years ago, wrecks like 3 people in island fights, and then comes back and just looks incredible.
Oh, that like I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you. Like, he looked really good, and like I saw bits and pieces at work because I had it on my phone. I was like, we weren't busy, so I was trying to sneak it in, trying to watch it, and hopefully my boss doesn't watch this because we're not supposed to be on phones. But I watched that fight, and I watched the Keller fight, and I got to see 2 knockouts, so I was happy at that.
Chase looked good. He after less than 2 years, I got 3, I think, first round knockouts in the island fight thing. Came back and looked incredible, and then Brian Kelleher looked great too. It was back and forth for a while, but it's that combination that he landed was just perfect. A little bit of a stop, not gonna lie, but it could have been stopped right after that hook that he landed, but I mean, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Then,
what do you think about that Gabriel Benitez and Omar Morales fight?
I didn't like the decision. I don't think he got robbed necessarily, but I wasn't a fan of the decision. I thought Benitez pulled it out. But I mean, it doesn't look good for kind of inexperienced judges when the guy is running away in the last 10 seconds of the third round in a round that's pretty close, I guess. It didn't look great that he was backing up and just trying to kind of salt away the wind, just kind of hold it, not get hit. But I don't know. It was a good fight. That cut on his shin is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Definitely, dude. I didn't see that fight, but I saw, because I was heading home from work. I just got off, and I was heading home. I get home. I just look at my phone really quick, and I go on Twitter, and everyone's just talking about this cut, and I was like, of course, that's the one I miss, because I'm not like I like seeing bad cuts, because then I'd be like, oh man, that's a bad cut. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, that's part of fighting, but like that shin cut was disgusting, man.
Marvin Eastman had a really bad one a long time ago, and I thought that was the worst I've seen. But for that to happen to his leg, just like on a leg, like checking a leg kick.
I know, man. That's just like, oh, my shin's feeling some type of way.
Every time that he would, because he was still throwing it after too. Every time he would throw it, I could feel it like in my leg. But Morales looked good, though. He came out with a win. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that fight again. I doubt they'll do it, but I wouldn't mind seeing that again. That was a good fight.
Morales remains 10-0, still undefeated.
Yeah, and we had Sijara Eubanks, Sarah Moraz. Not the greatest fight ever, but
I didn't see this fight.
It was all right. It's kind of what I expected. Both of their records aren't the greatest. I don't think we see Sarah in the UFC again after that, but I don't know. Sijara, like, her gas tank looked better. She was still throwing in the third round, so I mean, I guess I don't see her beating, and I think she's ranked 15. I don't see her beating many people in the top 10, but she didn't look bad. And then at the end, there was a little bit of like trash talk. Sarah got up and like Sarge like pushed her or something, I think, and it got a little testy. But no, it wasn't worth it. Sijara is just that kind of person, I guess, just kind of rub it in your face. And speaking of trying to rub it in your face and it not working out, how about Michael Johnson?
Hey, I called that one, man. I called that. Thiago, that was a nice submission, dude. Yeah, I mean, he got him. And Michael Johnson was winning the fight.
He was
But
destroying him on the
then,
feet.
yeah, and he got
And
caught.
right at the end of the first round, I think he said, "Are you going to fight me or not?" or something like that. And then he just runs out and leg locks him. So
Pulled a Michael Johnson, dude.
uh,
I called that one. I can't believe he's still in the UFC, dude.
Johnson's he's been on the wrong side of a few of those. Remember how much he talked to Gaethje?
Mm-hmm.
It was a bunch of like weird like incest stuff that he was like talking about. It's just then he got knocked out. Like it was stop talking.
What'd
Big
you think?
shocker, Andre Arlovski.
Sorry.
Jesus.
I know, dude. I was so mad, man. I was like, how?
As soon as they started throwing and I saw like Lynn's throwing, I was like, oh no, this isn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, I mean, Andre said he's going to get back on track and to being like making himself better and everything. I don't see that necessarily, but I mean, granted,
Another guy.
they throw him in. They throw him into just guys that are destroyers. Like they gave him Francis when he was coming up. They gave him Rosenstruck when he's coming up. It's like, come on, like it's
That's another
like
guy I can't believe that's in the UFC, man.
he's kind of like a gatekeeper that can't keep the gate. Like
Definitely. We also had a fight on there that got canceled. Wasn't it Robertson that got sick, or was it?
Yeah, Robertson missed weight and then he got sick. Vittori weighed in today in case anyone wants to fight tomorrow.
Yeah,
and he got into it with Kevin Holland in the hotel lobby too.
So I mean,
I think it was Kevin Holland.
Did they anything if they're still getting paid, or?
I would imagine Vittori still will. I haven't seen anything. But he weighed in. We had Uriah Faber weigh in today too, because
For Song Yadong.
Yeah, because he might not fight because of his visa issues, I guess. But yeah, that would have been. Hopefully, they reschedule that one because God, that's a good fight.
Yeah, it is. I was actually looking forward to that fight.
Robertson's really good, and Vittori he's if he gets better, he could be scary. We had Ricky Simone, Ray Borg. That was a good fight too.
That was a good fight. I can't believe Ricky Simone had 7 takedowns, dude. Like he was just.
He timed him just perfectly. Borg was he wasn't ready when as soon as he would shoot, it was just perfect timing.
I got the fight stats up here too. Simone had 93 strikes thrown, total strikes, and he had 67 significant. So I mean,
they were banging. They were throwing.
Yeah,
they were throwing like crazy the whole time. Ricky's always like that, though. No matter what fight he's in, he's always throwing like that.
I know. I love Ricky, man. I was mad when Uriah beat him, dude, at Sacramento last year.
I expected that was cool to see Uriah beat him, but it's kind of like the level thing, you know. Like you just gotta you gotta fight your way up there. Borg was a level test too, though, because Borg's no joke. That was a close fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was split decision too. I believe it was. But yeah, we saw the loss of the mullet and kind of looked like a new fighter. There's even some trash talk in there when Borg said, "You look exactly like me," and Simone was like, "No, you look like me. I'm older than you." Then Alexander Hernandez, Drew Dober. How about Drew Dober? Jesus,
man, he looks good, dude.
He's coming up quick.
He like Hernandez kept on. Once he got tagged, he did what you had to do, and he took him down. I mean, they were solid, like you said, because I was messaging you throughout the night with that. You said he caught Dober standing up, so he took him down.
He's standing up straight. Dober just got. It's exactly how Gaethje used to be. He trains with Justin Gaethje.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he sees that you're hurt, he just charges at you. He's got to learn that from Gaethje. You be patient, because he had Hernandez hurt multiple times in that fight.
He looked good, man. That's like you said, guy on the come up. I'm paying attention to.
He's coming quick, and he wants a striker too. I was thinking he called out Paul Felder. I can see Felder or Dan Hooker. Those would both just be wars.
And I think he's gonna make it in the top 15 on the rankings by Monday.
Oh yeah, I think Hernandez was 15 or 14, something like that.
I think he was 15.
Yeah. So yeah, Dobert should absolutely be up there, and he's gonna shake up the lightweight division. Obviously, he probably won't fight Gaethje if he ever gets to that point. But if Gaethje beats Khabib, which God, I hope he does. But yeah, he's another one that's coming up. The lightweight division is so stacked.
I know. Honestly, this might be the best of it. One of the best divisions.
It's been the best division for years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The talent, even beyond the top 15, there's guys that are just like you can't even rank them all. Like there's so many. Speaking of a division that's not too stacked like that, heavyweight Rothwell Oven St. Preux. That should not have been the co-main event.
Definitely, but
I think Hernandez Dober should have been the co-main.
I mean, Big Ben looked pretty decent though.
He could have done more. Like it was, yeah. Ovens was kind of running, but he had to. Like you can't just stand there.
Yeah, I mean,
Ben could have tried more. He didn't really. He was kind of just stalking him and just. Ben's not going to go anywhere.
Dude, his unique style of fighting, like he had his hand. I don't know. It's weird, dude.
Yeah, he's coming at him like a bear. It was weird.
I mean, you got the win.
It doesn't really do anything for him, though. And he called out Oleinik, which I wouldn't call out Oleinik after his fight against Verdum.
I mean, I wouldn't really want to watch that Oleinik versus Big Ben fight.
If that dude comes back the same way he fought Verdum and fights Rothwell like that, good night, Ben Rothwell. Like, you're either getting – like, Rothwell's a black belt, I think, but yeah, that's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
You're either going to sleep on the feet or he's going to take you down and put you to sleep.
But I feel bad for St. Preux because, like, what do you do now?
I think it goes back to 205. It doesn't end his career. He didn't get slapped.
Yeah, I know that.
And he might go back down. He was, 240? I mean, he didn't look horrible at heavyweight, I mean. He landed a few things on Rothwell. I don't think he's going to beat anyone big in heavyweight, but
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad for him not cutting weight, and who knows, that might have hurt his chin. Like, cutting weight to 205, that might be why his chin isn't the greatest. We've seen that multiple times with guys. Like when TJ went down to 25, his chin was weaker. There's a bunch of guys that are like that. That weight cut does something to your chin. And then main event, Anthony Smith, Glover Teixeira. God, that was so disappointing.
Man, you were messaging me saying how, like, you were mad, dude.
I'm not mad. I'm more just like, it doesn't do anything. Like, light heavy is so dead because Jones is just at the top and just beats everyone. So like, you want to see Smith come back and like just put a beating on Teixeira and then say, "Hey Dom, what's up?" Or "Hey Santos, let me get my rematch." Something like that. Like,
Glover was good though, man.
He's just not going to beat anyone in the top. I didn't like in that promo that he did. He said, "When I fought Jones, I was young and dumb, and now I'm like older and smarter." It's like, dude, you were 34 when you fought John Jones. You were in your prime, and now you're 40. You're not going to beat John Jones at 40. Like, by the time you'd fight him, he'd be 41, 42. As Dana said, maybe they do Glover and Dom for like who gets Jones next. I don't think that's a possibility at all.
I think Dom deserves I think he deserves the rematch, or if he wants to do something like that, whenever Santos comes back from his injury, because I mean, both his legs were gone when he fought Jones, so I mean it's going to take some time for him to recover. Might have another year before Santos comes back.
Yeah, I think you do. I think you let Jones do what he's been talking about, and you do Dom versus Santos, and the winner fights Jones when Jones is done at heavyweight. Which brings us to John Jones just called out Francis Ngannou. What the hell?
I saw that on Twitter, dude. I was like, oh my god, this is a big payday for him, man. For
It's a
both fighters.
huge payday. It's easily a main event. Could do it for the interim heavyweight title, which would, I mean, if they didn't do it for Ngannou Rosenstruik, you'd do it for Jones Ngannou, because you want Jones to fight either Stipe, or if DC wants it, which I don't think he does. If DC beats Stipe somehow, and then Jones beats Ngannou, you do DC Jones for the heavyweight title as DC's retirement fight.
Wouldn't that be something, man? Wouldn't that just?
I would, but I don't think DC wants it. I don't see it happening. And like Jones said, I don't think he could take it again. Like he's built up so much of his career and his legacy. I don't think he could go out losing to Jones for a third time, like get himself that excited, put himself through that hard of a camp, and then just lose to Jones for a third time after thinking you're going to beat him. Which maybe it would be a different story at heavyweight, but.
Do you have Ngannou beating Jones, or do you have Jones beat Ngannou?
Jones posted, I think it was a video or like a GIF of Stipe Ngannou, of Stipe slipping one of his punches and landing a hook on him. And Jones said something like his speed is too good, Ngannou's too slow. That was also when Ngannou was arrogant as hell and thinking he could sleep everyone on the planet, which most of the people on the planet he could. But it was when Ngannou felt unbeatable. Like he's felt invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Now Ngannou knows, and he didn't show it in his last fight against Rosenstruik, but he knows what he has to do. He can't just throw his chin up like he did against Rosenstruik and just go and blow his gas tank in the first round and then just get destroyed for the rest of the fight. I think he's technical. He's got striking coaches. Like Jimmy Cooper is no joke. He's one of the best striking coaches on the planet. And with that freakish power, and especially whatever Jones weighs in at, Jones will probably be, if he cuts weight, he'll be 220 when he fights Ngannou. Ngannou's easily 260, 265. Jones will be slower too, and he's getting older. We've seen it. He's getting hit more and more. Dom hit him more. Santos hit him more. It's happening. I don't see Jones.
Those guys don't have Ngannou power though, man.
No, I don't see Jones beating him. If it's a technical fight, if Jones can avoid the power, take him down, or somehow just avoid the striking and outstrike him and, clinch with him, take him down, stuff like that, maybe even submit him early to avoid it, maybe. But if Jones gets hit, he's going to sleep. You can't avoid that power.
You can have the best chin in the world, man, and you get hit by Ngannou, that chin's going to turn to glass.
You could wear a helmet and still get knocked out. You could wear anything. I guarantee I would not, even if somebody gave me the leading technology headgear in the world and told me not to take one punch from Ngannou, I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Did you see the video of Mike Tyson and giving Ngannou pointers? I was like,
that was another thing that was weird. Like he's telling him how to avoid punches, and then he runs at Rosenstruik with his chin up and just standing straight up, just winging punches at him. That was weird. But I mean, it's just try to get him out of there early. Like he said, that was the game plan, just get him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, if there's going to be any interim heavyweight title fight until Stipe comes back or retires, that's the fight.
Definitely, dude.
Do that. I mean, I want to see Adesanya be the one to fight Jones and have the best chance to beat him. But if it happens with Ngannou, then it's over. You're not gonna beat him.
What if Jones does beat Ngannou though, man? How would you?
I wouldn't be shocked, but it would be a big deal. Like Ngannou just gets to the top, and that's it. That's all he can. He just can't get it. Kind of like a Cerrone type thing, where he gets all the way to the top, and then he just can't beat the best guy in the world. He's everything but the best guy in the world. It could be interesting.
I think Ngannou should, maybe if that fight does happen, I would get a really good wrestler and just work on wrestling. I mean, yeah, like, get DC to come in and give you some pointers on wrestling tips and stuff. Because honestly, if that fight does happen, I don't see Jones standing up with him because, I mean, who would want to stand up with Ngannou? I see if Jones does win, if he wants to go for that win against Ngannou, he's going to take him down. He's going to throw elbows on the ground. He's going to clinch, like you said. He's going to tire Ngannou out. So why not work on that takedown defense? And
you never know with Jones, though, because he gets to that point where he thinks he's the same thing, where he thinks, no, his striking is nowhere near mine, just like Adesanya. He thinks his striking's better than mine, and it's nowhere near it. But when you feel that power, it's too late. If you feel it at all, it's too late.
Well, Jones likes to beat guys at their own game.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. He'll think, oh, I'm going to show everyone. I'm going to beat Ngannou standing. I'm going to knock him out. And it's like, no, you're going to catch some. Even if he shoots and Ngannou throws an uppercut, you're going to sleep. There's nothing else to it.
And Ngannou is such a nice guy, dude. Like, honestly, I would chill with Ngannou.
The most humble, most dangerous dude on the planet. It's horrifying. Like, before, like when he fought Stipe, he was arrogant, like thinking, oh yeah, like nobody can beat me, all that. But now he's just such a nice guy, and like, but as soon as he turns it on, that's it. Until you're unconscious, he does not stop.
I think if Ngannou and Stipe fight again, I think it's going to be a different story.
Oh, absolutely. I think if he fights Stipe or if he fights DC, I don't think he'll last very long.
All right.
So UFC's back and hoping to see some other leagues back. NBA and NCAA are kind of postponing their decisions for like a draft. We got the MLB working on returning plans.
What do you think about the pay? Like, did you see Blake Snell say something about the?
Yeah, he said it's not worth it. I mean, depending on how much they're cutting, I've seen different numbers on how much, like what percentage it is that they want to cut. But you're still getting millions, especially Blake Snell. Like, he has a big contract.
Yeah, and
yeah, it's dangerous, but like if they're gonna do testing just like the UFC is doing, everyone's gonna go pretty much off of their plan, I would imagine. So it's like, as long as there's testing, if you God forbid you don't make $100 million in a year, like, come on.
Bryce Harper agreed with him. I was like, dude, you're like the second or like third, like you make the most, like second or third most salary in MLB. Like,
yeah, I think Trout is number one. I haven't really heard anything from Trout, but I think it's like Trout. I want to say Kershaw is up there, and then I think it's Harper. If it's
Trout's like I think it's Trout's probably one of the most humble athletes in the world right now. So
yeah, I don't like it's. You're kind of starting to sound like Dak Prescott, like I can't feed my family on $30 million a year or something like that. It's like, come on. But I mean, obviously, health and safety is the number one concern, and with everyone traveling and so many, you don't know what players are doing what, even if they lie about it. They're like, oh no, I've been quarantined this whole time, and then really they've been having parties and hanging out with their friends and stuff. You never know. But I mean, as long as they try to keep it safe, like even like the NHL commissioner said, like he's not even thinking about canceling. MLB is thinking the same thing. They want to go. NBA is looking. I've seen so many different possibilities for where
I think they might go straight to playoffs in the NBA, man.
Yeah, I saw Toronto. I saw Disney as one. There's a bunch of them. So, I mean, hopefully it would be nice to see the season finish. But I think it was Shaq that said it? Like whoever wins this season, like in the NBA, like there's an asterisk next to it, like because it wasn't really a full.
I don't agree with that. I really don't. I mean, yeah, like this season's been ups and downs just in all sports world, not just NBA, not just all that. I don't really consider an asterisk. If you win the championship this year. You fully if the Bucks or the Lakers win the finals this season, I think they fully deserved it. I mean, two of the best teams in the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks win the NBA finals, man. Then I mean, it just depends how much an athlete has been working on their body outside of this whole thing. I've seen players that are playing video games on Twitch. I've seen players that post videos of them working out on Instagram. So a lot of these players have been doing their own personal life. Like they just been focusing on other stuff. Like if they're doing what they like. If they're gonna play, they're obviously gonna get back into it. But I mean, these athletes have personal lives of themselves, so this
That's
is like
another
a break.
thing too. Like with like they've had so much time off, so it's not really like Shaq said. Like there's a little bit of a difference because like say Giannis or LeBron had an injury and now he's had what 3 months, 2 months
Hmm.
to heal it.
Well,
Like it wouldn't be the same as if like if the season kept going and then they lose a couple games because Giannis or LeBron aren't in the game.
that's just like Kevin Durant could possibly. I mean, I've read something that he's not coming back, but Kevin Durant has missed this whole season because of his injury from the NBA Finals last season.
Yeah, and who knows how long they plan to do the season, and he could be back. Say they go deep into the playoffs, and then they get him back at a deep like playoff spot, and then that changes the whole dynamic of that series that they're in.
Well,
So
I think they're the 8th seed right now. So if let's say he does come back, oh man, Kevin Durant coming back against the Bucks probably. I don't know. Like, in my opinion, Kevin Durant's one of the best basketball players in the world. So he's my favorite. So he's a scary dude. People don't realize Kevin Durant was on Golden State Warriors for the last 3-4 seasons, and you've had two great shooters on that team. You've had Draymond Green. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think Kevin Durant's one of the best like pure scorers in NBA history, in my opinion. Yeah, his attitude's changed since he's left OKC and went to Golden State. Like all those Twitter accounts and all that. But I still think Kevin Durant is. I think he could be an MVP type player next season because, like my dad said, a shooter never loses its touch. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do that. We're seeing like with baseball too, a lot of guys are getting like Tommy John surgery or they're getting surgeries to, trying to heal stuff like for when they do come back so they're all good. Like it's just a whole different like deal now that we just gotta deal with like just the
mhm.
differences. And I think they wanted what MLB is talking like 80 82 games, 80 games, something like that.
Yeah, I read it was like somewhere between 80 games.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just God, it's so weird, like just everything going on.
National
There's
League could have a DH now. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean I like it. I've always wanted that. I mean I'm more of an American League guy because I'm a White Sox fan, so I've just been used to the DH, and I never really saw a point in the pitchers hitting. Like it's kind of other than the very few guys that can just rake as pitchers. Like there's there's not really a point. It's pretty much just an easy out or a sacrifice that happens. Like
Madison Bumgarner.
yeah, just like with the DH, then you get kind of
Yeah.
as opposed to Madison Bumgarner or there's a few other guys that have been good, but DH you could get your most powerful hitter in there. Like
Mhm.
you could run like how the White Sox used to have like Adam Dunn. He wasn't the best first baseman, but if you got him at a DH, that was it. Or like when Jim Thome was there,
Yeah, as I say, I remember Jim Thome, man. Jim
he
Thome
was
had.
yeah, he was. I've met him like multiple times. I used to work at Dick's Sporting Goods, and he would come in there all the time.
He's
Um,
from Peoria, actually.
yeah, he would come in with his kids, so we never really bugged him too much. But it was kind of like a starstruck moment,
Starstruck.
like oh my
Yeah.
god, that's Jim Thome. Like, um, but yeah, it just adds a kind of another dangerous batting spot to it as opposed to the pitcher where it's going to be a sacrifice or it's going to be an out or it's they're going to get subbed in for a pinch hitter if they're going to come out. So
Hmm.
it's there's not much point But I don't know. I like the universal DH. I wouldn't mind it at all. I'm used to it already, obviously, like with the American League. But it's just
And I'm going to give this a little shout out. I know you don't like it, but soccer, Bundesliga returns tomorrow for German soccer league. It's a German soccer league. I'm so excited for it. I'm a huge soccer fan, as you know.
no, yeah,
So,
it's good to see stuff coming back. There's another boxing league coming back this week too, I think. I
so
forget what it's
my
called.
Saturday of sports is filled tomorrow, man. Got that in the morning, then got UFC at night. So I'm so excited for it, man. And
There's
I hope this
another there's
hope
another
this
exciting part this weekend too with the Jordan documentary ending, The Last Dance,
yeah.
last two episodes. It's been
Have you
great.
been watching?
Oh yeah, I finished. Like I don't watch it right when it comes out. I watched the 7 and 8 last night. Because I've just been like I tell myself I'm gonna watch it and then it's just it just doesn't happen. But last night I watched it and then they give you that cliffhanger right at the end of episode 8. Um, but yeah,
Jordan's
it
so
should be good.
psychotic, man.
I mean,
He
it's when you get that much attention and when you're that big just in the sport, like when you're that big of an icon and you just know, like, yeah, I'm better than everyone here. It's kind of just another, it's kind of like a different level.
he made scenarios in his head of people were talking, like just talking crap. No one ever said anything to him, and he would still drop. Like he was like, "All right, I got you, man," and he would absolutely destroy him. That is insane, man.
It's all it takes. It's
Because
just the most competitive guy probably ever.
oh, for sure, man, for sure. But when I can't think of this guy's name, but he played. They said when he played against the Washington Bullets. That's what before they were the Wizards. This guy dropped I think like 35 points. I don't know the guy's name, but Jordan literally made up this whole scenario where this guy said he tried dapping him up saying "Good game, Mike," like, and Jordan's like, "All right, bet," and that literally because it was a weird for scheduling because they played them and like a couple nights later they played them again, but they played them in Washington. And Jordan Lilly dropped the same amount of points in the first half. I was like, what?
Yeah, same thing.
Like
And then he had that thing at the restaurant where the coach, like, he went over to like to talk to him, and the coach just walked right by him. And he's like, "All right, cool."
George Carl. Yep. And oh my God, man, it's insane. I think that's like it's cool, but like insane, dude. Because I don't know how you can just envision someone just doing that and just dropping 40 points against that person or going off on that coach's team in the NBA Finals. Because George Karl I think he was a coach. He was an assistant coach when Jordan was at North Carolina. So, he Jordan was trying to talk to him, and yeah, I don't know. He's insane, man. I'm so excited for these last two episodes. I really enjoyed like just looking at like Sky Pippen, like how like he doesn't get taught like honestly I think he's in the top 25 of NBA players of all time in my opinion. He doesn't really get talked about much because of Jordan and like Dennis Rodman. Um, he he knew his role. I mean everything, man. Like this whole team, like this team was really good.
Oh yeah, just that. It's like you said. It's kind of their role. Like Jordan was kind of the big, like the big center point of it, and then Rodman knew his role. Pippen knew his role, and yeah, there was a few bumps in there, like like in I think it was episode 8 where they were gonna let Kukoc take the last shot, and Pippen just sat down and didn't even want to play. But they were still the team. They knew their role, and Jordan was just he was just the best there was. So it's you kind of just know it kind of revolves around him.
Yeah.
And then
What
some
did you,
more exciting news in basketball for us, at least. Western basketball hires.
man? All right, I'm so excited. Like for Western, it's gonna take a while for like the coach to bring in his type players and stuff like that. But the coaching staff he has, the hire of Nick Irvin, dude, like I follow like a bunch of like Chicago sports, high school sports, and Nick Irvin, he's the head coach of Morgan Park. Um, I mean, he's coached. I'm a huge Illinois fan, and he's coached Io DeSumo. He's coached Adam Miller. So bringing a coach like that, Western's not gonna get the top Chicago athlete, but they might bring in a few sneaky ball players, man.
Yeah, they're going to be good. It kind of sucks that Kobe left, but I mean,
Yeah, but Kobe's going to Nebraska, dude, which is
yeah,
insane to think of. And I honestly think Kobe might start. Well, he'll see playing time for sure.
yeah, I could see it when I would go to the games. You could see like, yeah, he's going to go somewhere bigger.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that extra little something that you need to play at that next level, like that Nebraska will be at. Yeah, he could start. He'll definitely play for sure, and that level of competition is gonna raise his level of playing easily. So he'll become even better.
Well, Rob Jeter, who's the new head coach for Western, he just left Minnesota as an assistant coach, and I mean, that's a Big Ten school. We just got a coach who was on the coaching staff of a Big Ten school. He also was an assistant coach at UNLV. He's got a really good record, dude. He's a good coaching record, and I mean, I think he's gonna bring in some good recruits, and might see more guys like Kobe Webster who, yeah, Western's not a big school, but could be like where players develop and maybe they transfer off to bigger schools. I mean, that happens now a lot in college sports. So
Oh yeah, the transfer portal is becoming a huge thing.
lot of guys in it, in football and basketball, man.
Yeah, it's nice to see just like that up and coming talent across every sport. Starting like even let's get to this Saturday's card. Speaking of up and coming talent, the first fight, Rodrigo Nascimento Fajeda and Dontali Mayes. Rodrigo was on the Contender Series. He submits pretty much. I think he had one fight that wasn't a submission. I want to say he's like 7-0 or something like that, and most of his fights are submissions. He was on the
Mm-hmm.
Contender Series and got a submission in the first round. I got him by sub. Pretty. I don't think it goes. I don't think it goes to decision.
Um, I I said for by KO or TKO. I think it might go on the ground, like you said, and he might finish him just either by submission or TKO.
Yeah, I don't think Maes is much of a. I don't think he's any pushover. I saw their face off. They're both huge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they get into a big exchange, like they're on the bottom of the card. So, and it's Fajeda's first fight other than like the Contender Series. It's his kind of his debut. But if they start swinging, like who knows what could happen, or he'll just shoot on him, and who knows what he can, we can wrap him up into.
Mhm.
Then we got Courtney Casey and Mara Romero Barella. That's another one. Casey's no joke. She's coming up.
Yeah, it looks like we both got Courtney as winning by decision.
Yeah, she's another one. I think they're both pretty decent on the ground. Casey's obviously more well known on the ground, like just for her past fights and stuff. But she's no joke. Her and Jakar Close they're no joke. And we saw that when Benel Dariush knocked him out, and then just that weird
Mm.
kind of exchange between them, and Benil like apologized to her for knocking Jakar out. And we got Damage. Oh man, I can't wait for this fight. Darren Elkins, Nate Landwehr. It's the past couple fights. I don't think Elkins can get it done. I think Nate's going to take it by decision. But
Uh,
I
I
can't
got
forget that
Elkins, man.
Bektic fight, that Mirsad Bektic comeback. It's Elkins will always. I'll always like him for that, but I don't know. I don't
No,
I
no,
don't.
I got Elkins by win by submission, man.
It could be interesting. It's Elkins is no joke, and he does not get tired. It's even when he is
No.
tired, he's still dangerous. God, like that was one of the best comebacks I've ever seen. Then we got Giga Chikadze and Erwin Rivera. Chikadze's taking this on what, a day's notice, and then he made weight this morning.
Mhm.
So I got Chikadze winning. He's very good. I mean the short notice might hurt him. Rivera's no joke either, but with Chikadze's last fight and I think his fight before that too, he's looking great. It's if he keeps improving, he could get up, into the ranks pretty quickly. And then
Yeah,
one of my
buff got
favorites,
1,000.
another one coming up off the Contender Series, Kevin Holland, Anthony Hernandez. Oh, this should be good. I wanted to see Holland fight Vittori. What a monster too. You saw fight Vittori on Wednesday and still fight Hernandez on Saturday. What's up? Like, oh, Holland is so good. They kind of screwed him over, like off the Contender Series. He's looking so promising, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, you want to come into the UFC? Here's Thiago Santos." Like, I didn't like that, but
Yeah.
Holland's no joke. I mean, he's good. He's improving. You literally see his improvement every fight. He hung in there with Santos, and like Santos fought for a title. I think the fight after that, I think he fought Blachowicz, and then I think the fight after that he fought Jones. So Holland he's up there. He can hang with just like Hardy, like with him coming off the series and then fighting Volkov. It's those guys are no joke that come off of there.
I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, I thought that Hardy versus Volkov fight I thought that was Hardy's best fight, even though he lost.
Yeah, it showed a lot. I mean, the Castro fight didn't help his case very much
Yeah.
because of it was just how it was. But then we got Matt Brown, Miguel Baeza. Brown he's looking good. He's on another one of his streaks where he looks good, and then I mean, unfortunately,
Yeah.
he's gonna pull a Cerrone eventually and get our hopes up again, and then he'll get destroyed by someone. Hopefully not, but maybe. He's looking good though. His last fight, he looked great. It's kind of like that resurgence that he needed. He just kind of retired and then came back, and he looked great. You got him by TKO. I got him by decision. It'd be great if he would knock him out,
Yeah.
or even TKO him. It would be huge for his career.
Hopefully, man. I mean, but Matt Brown can pull some shockers, man.
Oh yeah, and he's dangerous the whole fight too. He doesn't really get tired. He's been in
Especially at his
he's
old
been
age, he still doesn't get
wars.
tired.
Oh no, yeah, he's one of those guys where Father Time has a hard time with him.
Yeah.
Then we got Song Yadong, Marlon Vera. I mean, hopefully this fight happens. They're both very good, and Uriah weighed in like 8 pounds over, so I don't know if they can have that happen.
I mean, if Song Yadong doesn't if he can't fight, I feel like they would give Uriah maybe a couple more hours to weigh in.
I don't know. I don't think Uriah would even like if you give him say 2 hours to cut 8 pounds.
Yeah, oh, I
He
know that's
might,
gonna be
but
hard.
is it worth it though? Like, how much have you been training?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have no like. Yeah, I mean, he trains with Song, but like, I don't know.
I feel like this fight's gonna happen. I feel like they'll find. I think they'll find a way.
I hope so. That's a good. And then we got another good one after that. Eric Anders, Christoph Jocko. Jocko was on a roll for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but Anders he's looking good. He's another one where he gets on a roll, and then he has a setback, and then he gets on a roll again. It's a perfect matchup though. UFC matchmakers did a great job with that one. We both got Anders by TKO. Jocko's chin isn't the greatest, but they're both just bangers. I don't see
Yeah,
that.
I think
It could go to the ground, but I doubt it.
I think it's gonna be a war, dude. I think it's probably be one my opinion, might be one of the best fights on the card.
That's got fight of the night potential, and so does the next one, though. Dan Ige, Edson Barboza. Good Lord, what a fight.
I honestly didn't think what do you think about Barboza? Like, you watched the weigh-ins?
He didn't look terrible. I was worried about it, but he didn't look awful. Like, he didn't look like when, like, McGregor used to cut down to 45, or when, like, Aldo tried to make, or when Aldo made 35. He didn't look bad, but his chin is going to be what's going to be tested. His chin and his cardio. Like, you have to be in shape to get that low, but Ige's got some power, and if he touches you, you're going to sleep. Like,
yeah,
just like when, especially after Gaethje slept Barboza, like, that will change his life. That'll change. No, like, seriously, like, we've seen it how many times? Like,
I know.
Mark Liddell was a world beater, and then he got knocked out once, and then after that, it's like every time.
Yeah, he got knocked out by Rampage, who was the Ngannou of, like, 2008.
Well, yeah, Rampage, Rashad, Keith Jardine, Shogun Hua.
They lost to Rich Franklin.
Rich Franklin.
I remember that.
Tito, unfortunately, Rich Franklin with a broken arm. He threw his broken arm and knocked him out.
Exactly, man. I remember watching that fight, bro, and I looked at my dad and I was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah,
but I think
Chuck should have retired long before that. And then for some, I don't know what reason, he fights Tito again.
Oh my God! Honestly, I'm gonna be dead honest with you. Me and my dad literally spent $15 to watch that fight.
I refused. I did not think about it even once. I looked on Twitter after. I was like, yeah, he got knocked out. That's what I expected. He's 40-something years old and still in decent shape.
We literally spent $15 to watch that.
No, there's no way. Especially since Oscar De La Hoya was the one behind it. Like, oh, this is going to be such a great card. And then he doesn't remember anyone that's on the card. Like, he's like, yeah, all the fighters we have up here, like, yeah, you don't know their names, so stop. And then he challenged Conor McGregor to a boxing match and said he would knock him out within 2 rounds. I cannot stand Oscar De La Hoya.
I honestly think this Danny Ige and Edson Barboza fight should be the co-main, my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, Angela Hill's getting some hype behind her because she fights like every freaking weekend. But like, Claudia she's another one though. She gets so close, and then right when she gets to the top, she can't do it. And
yeah, you chose Claudia for.
Yeah, I don't. Angela's good, and she's fighting a lot, and she's getting that cage time that everyone needs, and you need the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see her beating Gadelha. I think that there's levels. I think we're gonna see that tomorrow night. Gadelha is just kind of another level. Hill's got a chance, but I think Claudia is just.
Yeah, I took Hill.
She's no pushover. It's going to be interesting. And then finally the main event we've been waiting for since November, December of last year. Just that I watched a little bit of that SportsCenter featured on Walt. I didn't finish it, but just I want him to go through.
Yeah. I want him to go through the whole division and just absolutely destroy him, man.
Like, Ngannou, see ya. Jones, goodbye.
Jones, if you move up, sorry about it. I'm going Walt, man. Like, major respect to this dude. Yeah, I saw Alistair said something like it's just business. Like, it's just a business thing. Like, no trash talk, nothing. It's just business.
Yeah, no. They were totally cool at the weigh-ins too. They hugged and shook hands probably 3 times.
Walt's fighting for something more than just.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? He's fighting for something just like he's fighting for his daughter, and I hope he gets the win tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he does. We both got him by knockout. Especially with all the knockouts Overeem's taken, and with Walt's power, his power is just ridiculous. I mean, the mental part is going to be another thing, kind of like how I think with Smith, it was kind of another thing. Like, It's that mental, just with everything that happened with the home invader, and then his team just kind of throw this, throw that, throw this, throw that, trying to get Glover out of there, out of like right away, and just blow his gas tank. The mental part is going to be there for Harris, I think, but I think he's going to be able to fight through it. He's fighting for, it's his daughter. It's kind of, he's got something to fight for. Anthony is kind of just a mental, like, somebody broke into my house. What's happening right now? Is my family okay?
Yeah.
And it's, kind of knocked his focus off. But I think Harris is going to come back and show and just put everyone on notice. Like, Ngannou and Rosenstruik and the top guys aren't the only ones that are here.
I honestly think if
I think we see Harris Blades next after this.
Maybe, man.
That'll be.
I like that fight. I like Blades.
Yeah, that'll be interesting if we get that, and then even if they do Harris Rosenstruik next, that wouldn't be horrible.
See, that heavyweight division, like you said in the last pod, I mean, it's not the same heavyweight division as there was when Tim Sylvia and Randy Couture were at the helm.
Yeah, it's kind of always had the little lulls though. Like I said, like when Brock was on top, it was here's Shane Carwin, here's whoever. It's just I don't know.
Now you got guys like Walt Harris, and you got the Francis Ngannou, Stipe, Rosenstruik. I mean, I wish I liked Overeem back in 2010, 2009. You know what I mean? When he was.
He was even in like Pride and all that, like K1, all that stuff. He was no joke. Him and his brother, they were on top for a while. It's just he's another one. He can never do it. He can never get all the way there.
Well, his chin is glass like.
It wasn't like as bad in the Rosenstruik fight, and then Rosenstruik said, "Watch this," but like
uppercut, boom, lip, blown up.
Superman like right hook right to his lip, and just blew his whole lip up. But yeah, I just
Ngannou just that's probably my favorite knockout, man.
Yeah, it's that uppercut that's insane. That's almost what I hope happens to Jones. I think Jones is going to talk so much leading up to that fight. I hope Jones just takes like that level of uppercut, just like there you go. Here, come back down to earth, why don't you? Like,
I mean, I'm a huge Jones fan, man, but I don't like this fight for Jones, dude.
No, it's like it's another like how I said like I want to see the top guys, like I want to see Jones get outworked.
Mhm.
But it's getting kind of old, like with all the mistakes that he's making outside, and with he's not looking as good. Obviously, with age, it's going to happen, but he's not destroying guys anymore. Like he's having close fights to where Santos might have beaten him if he didn't tear his knees. Dom possibly beat him. I don't think so, in my opinion. I think Jones edged it out, but it's getting closer every time.
Yeah, it really is.
And you got some big guys coming up. Jan's coming up. Santos is going to come back. I was hoping Johnny Walker was going to be something, and then just yeah.
Oh, I remember talking about that at school, man. I was like, when he lost, who his first loss was to
he fought Corey, and then he fought
Nikita
Krylov, and just got destroyed by both of them. I was like, and he went to TriStar to fight Krylov too. I was like, okay, you should be something. Like Firas the Hobby should show you like, here's what you're doing wrong. You're thinking you're going to destroy guys. Here you go. Just like Kevin Lee. Like Kevin Lee was another one. Like, oh yeah, it's Khabib time. Let's go. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then he fights Tony, and then he goes to TriStar, and Gregor Gillespie's coming up. Here's a head kick. What's up? But that's another thing too, that boosted his confidence again to where, oh, I'm going to avoid the game. I'm going to stray from the game plan. I'm going to do my own thing, and then Oliveira chokes him out. So it's mental. It's with every single fight, that mental aspect. It's going to come into play with Walt too. It's going to come into play with Walt. It's going to come into play with Khabib too, with everything.
Yeah, speaking of Khabib, I'm glad to see I saw that his dad woke up, and I'm glad to see that. And
I don't think he's talking yet, but it's good to see. But it's going to be another thing. Whatever happens in between now and September when they fight, hopefully on Fight
do
Island.
you think it could be in September, or do you think it could be sooner, or do you think it could be later?
Um, Khabib said September. I think his thing ends in what, July, something like that. I forget what he said.
Yeah,
Um,
I forgot what he
but
said too.
yeah, he wants. I think he said July originally, and then he talked to Dana and said September because obviously he's going to be with his dad, and then to fight Gaethje or Tony, you need a long time to, prepare, especially when you're at the level that Khabib is. Um,
And I
it's
saw
gonna it's gonna be good. It's especially with the amount of time that they're gonna have to train. It's gonna be a good fight. Just
I
that
saw
wrestling
that
aspect is gonna be interesting, and oh, I can't wait.
McGregor even tweeted out to Khabib and was wishing his dad well. And
I kind of think that's his management team telling him, "Hey, do this." Like,
but I mean, putting rivalries aside, you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
still like there's more. It's more than just fighting, you know.
well, like Connor said during the fight, it's only business. Khabib called him out the other day for it. I love that. He said, "Don't be fake. Remember what you said. It's only business." All right. Let's wrap things up. Yeah. So that just about wraps things up for us here today. Be sure to follow us on social media at NN Experience for the latest updates in the world of sports and news about our next show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on the Nick and Nolan Experience.